Hello and welcome. Today I wanted to do a quick review of something interesting I found out and about. If you spend any time online looking over shops or sites like Wish or Amazon, you're bound to run across extendable self-defense batons. Now the idea behind these is pretty simple. It's the same thing that you see some police officers carrying around. It's basically a truncheon or a blunt instrument that's designed to telescope back in for easy carry. They usually come with little carry sleeves like this that have belt clips or belt loops on them. So you carry it around, you pull it out, you extend it, and you have a self-defense weapon. Now usually those things are not my style, and I see them around quite a bit, but I've never had much interest in picking one up. One caught my eye though at some point, and I decided I'd go ahead and grab one, and I wanted to show it off to you guys a little bit here. This, strangely enough, is not called a self-defense baton when you search for it on the internet. This thing calls itself a telescoping crowbar, which is a really weird way to market this. I don't know if they're trying to get around like Californian restrictions on concealed weapons or something like that. But if you want to find these things around, telescoping crowbar or telescopic crowbar is what you need to look for. They make two sizes of them. This is the smaller of the two. I'll list the manufacturer's name down in the descriptions, but these things come out of China, of course, like most of this stuff. The price on it varies rather greatly depending on how lucky you are and when you find it, somewhere between $20 and $70. So it's a bit more expensive. You can pick up a telescopic baton on Wish for like $6 or $7. Most of the time, though, those are cheap steel. They have a tendency to bend or to stop telescoping correctly. This one's actually pretty decent quality. I was pleasantly surprised by it. So let me show you a little bit about what this is and talk about how it actually caught my eye. You can see one of the distinguishing features right off the bat. This one has a crossguard. Now they market this as a handguard, and on their site they show it like catching a sword blade, which is highly impractical. If you're ever using a baton to fight off a sword-wielding maniac, then it's some sort of zombie apocalypse scenario that only an extreme prepper would ever conceive of. But it's a neat idea, and it certainly gives it a flair. This crossguard right here actually pivots the bottom part of it, so pivots into a square or a 90-degree handguard. And it's actually it's pretty dang sturdy material, and it locks at the right angle pretty well. It goes all the way through though, so it doesn't lock to full extension. You can keep twisting it, but it locks at every 90 degrees. And this is kind of interesting. You can hit it with the flick of a thumb here, turn it into the handguard, and it's pretty sturdy and locks there. It doesn't wobble around unless you really try to exert the force. The grip on this thing is a rubberized grip like you're going to find with a bicycle most of the time. It's a fairly good grip. It does slide around a little bit. The pommel is actually weighted and removable. The pommel on these things is designed to, they market it as an emergency tool so that if you ever need to break out a window or something like that, you have the ability to break out a window with the pommel. So that's basically what this is. They have an optional pommel that you can get that's pointed. They say is better for breaking glass, but I think this one's heavy enough that it's perfectly fine if you needed to break glass. The general design of it, same basic idea as a telescoping baton. I swing it, and it extends. Now this thing locks out fairly well. Well, here's the manufacturer right here. This is Feikefan, Feikefan, tactical baton, it says on here. So they've given up that whole telescoping crowbar. This is the 26-inch version. There's one that's 6 inches longer than this. The steel on this is really good, and it doesn't rattle too much. That's actually that little bit of rattle that you hear is the little crossguard there. There we go. Okay, it doesn't rattle much, and it's pretty sturdy. They strength tested this on their video, and they have cars running over it, so theoretically it can stand up to that, which is more force than I'm likely to put on it, swinging it around. It's got a blunt tip here. The blunt tip is metal as well instead of plastic, and it telescopes out to that long and is usable as a self-defense baton. Now I kind of dig this because the weight on it is a lot like a lightsaber, and that's what I usually do on here. Because of that crossguard, the point of balance is back to here. which means it's extremely easy to use, but the whole thing has quite a lot of heft to it, so it will definitely generate some force. The one problem with this, besides the fact the grip slides around a little bit, is that it's really difficult to retract. That's the case with a lot of these extendable batons. It's by design. They don't want the thing to suck back into itself or to get loose when you're using it. But in order to actually retract this, you have to put quite a bit of force on it. I'm not able to do it. I don't want to damage my table here, so I'll do it on the floor. But you can hear how much force this is taking to put back in. There we go. So, really interesting design. I really like this. It comes with a little belt clip here. No idea what I would use this for, but again, just in case you're walking around and you want to be prepared for the zombie apocalypse, this is probably a lot more functional than a lightsaber and a lot less likely to get you arrested than a sword. So, nice happy medium. But again, this is the Feikefan Tactical Baton, or Feikefan Tactical Baton. So, I didn't extend it all the way that time, but there we go. So, very interesting design. Thought I'd show this to you guys. If you like it, or if you liked the video, if it was helpful to you, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you back here for the next one.